So thank you everyone so much for coming to this class. We are super excited about it. We know that over the past 6 months, there have been lots and lots going on, and everyone needs some support with emotions. And that is one of the hidden jewels with our natural support that we have via essential oils. A lot of us have a certain thing that drew us to this, or curiosity that we want to learn more about it. And a lot of times that has to do with physical, but essential oils really are the best way in order to support your emotions, because when you inhale them, they go to your limbic system, which is the center of your emotions. So they're the quickest and one of the best ways to help with your emotions. So we have a variety of people that are going to, first of all, share their story with you right quickly of why they were attracted to this and some of the support that they've had. And then we're going to hopefully expand your toolbox, giving you some of the favorite essential oils that we have used in order to support our emotions. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the first individual that's going to share with us. And that's going to be my sister, Dana Mott, and she's going to share her story and then a few of her favorite protocols.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. So first and foremost, I want to just thank each and every one of you for being here. There's so many places you could have spent your evening, but we appreciate you being here. So it's very interesting that this is actually one of the biggest things that I want people to really partner with when it comes to the oils. And one of the biggest things that set Young Living in their company apart from many others. And so just starting with a little bit of who I am and my story. So first, sorry, y'all. I don't know why I got muted. So first and foremost, I come from a very, very militant and stoic family. So what I mean by that is my father is actually one of 6 children. There was only one girl. She now since has passed away. And so they were very, very stoic and militant. I remember very distinctly when my granny passed, I was a mess. I was hysterical. And I remember her children sitting in the front row, and I didn't see not one person shed a tear. But I personally have always been very, very, very emotional. But because I came from a background where they were so stoic and so militant, I looked at my emotions as a negative thing. I looked at it as something that was wrong with me, something that I just would suppress, and I never really addressed the things. So my bringing up wasn't always easy. There was a lot of deep-seated trauma, a lot of deep-seated things that I had to face and deal with. But when you never actually address or approach those emotions, the thing about emotions is they don't go away. They stay somewhere, whether it's in your body, whether it's in your organs, whether it's in you can't get rid of this weight or this heaviness, or it turns into some type of illness. So when I stumbled across Young Living and it came into my life, the only thing I was looking for was healing for my son. That was it. I just wanted my son to breathe a little better. I wanted us to not be sick every time the weather changed. I only wanted physical changes. That was all I was looking for. And so the, whether good or bad, surprise that I got was it forced me to face a lot of this emotional things that I had suppressed and didn't even realize were holding me back. So I'm going to just really quick kind of tell only this portion of the story, because like I said, when my granny passed, when my aunt passed, I was a wreck. Like I was a mess. Like I was the hysterical person in the funeral, couldn't get my emotions together. I didn't know how to cope. even to the point where, again, I thought there was something wrong with me. But last December, since I had Young Living, since I had protocols, and like we'll talk about some of the Happy Day protocol, and I understood things like deep breathing. I understood things like affirmations, and I had tangible ways to manage my emotions. I was able to get through some of the most difficult times of my life. So in December, a dear friend of mine, she actually was the maid of honor in my wedding, very, very close to me. She actually took her life. And I remember the whole month of December, like I couldn't function. Like I was really, really having such a hard time, but I was able to use the feelings kit as well as the Happy Day protocol in order to at least function well enough for my children. I was able to sit with my emotions and address them and actually manage them. And that was the first time, I just turned 35, that was the first time in 34 years that I ever had the tools to be able to do that. And to me, that was so powerful. And I had no clue that it was actually going to set me up for how 2020 was going to look. Okay. So I went through that in December, and I honestly thought that was the lowest place I could have been in my life. Right. And then January hits, February hits, March hits, and I lose both of my grandfathers. Right. So I'm barely recovering emotionally from what's happening in December. And now I have another seat of events. And again, I went back to these oils. I went back to my self-healing, allowing myself to feel the emotions, because I want everyone to really, really hear this and hear me when I say there is nothing wrong with feeling a certain way, right? We want to address and acknowledge those feelings, because the only way to heal is if we accept the fact that they're there. You are not less of a person. You are not less of a human because you feel a certain way, right? It's what we do with those feelings. It's how we grow outside of that. And so because I had some of these beautiful, beautiful tools, I was able to couple that with my own situations and issues that were happening, and I was able to move through those things. That doesn't mean I don't have sad days. That doesn't mean that I don't get back into the self-loathing, but I don't stay there, right? Because I partner those with other things. I will also just preface this with saying also, I did go to actual therapy too. It's okay if you need actual therapy too, but it's such a beautiful thing when you have tangible tools that you can use in addition to your arsenal. And so what I'm able to create even with my children, my 6-year-old and my 10-year-old, is I'm able to break that generation trauma. I'm able to break that stigma, and I'm able to share something with my children so that maybe they don't have to experience all of the same setbacks as me. So that's a little bit of me, where I am now. I'm actually super, super excited to share about this next protocol. If any of you guys have oils and you're in a safe enough place where you can grab those oils, please, please grab an oil. Any oil, doesn't matter, please grab an oil. I want you to grab an oil, because as I talk through these, we're gonna use some oils, we're gonna breathe in some oils, and I want you to pause and kind of take those in. So when we're talking about dealing with emotions and trauma and hard things, because if you are living right now, you're going through some hard things, right? With the effect of what's happening right now, every single person is facing some crazy emotional things. And so I want to talk about this Gary's Great Day Protocol, because when I tell you, like, this is one of my favorites, I think this was like my baby steps, and then I had to like pull out the big guns to the feelings kit. But the very next slide. So the very first step in this Happy Day protocol is VALOR. So how many people know and love VALOR? So I have like 4 or 5 bottles of VALOR all the time, all around me. This is my liquid courage. I cannot live without my VALOR. I want everybody, again, if you have an oil, if you have VALOR, like that's even a bonus, but any oil that you have, I want you to take your oil out, okay? I want you to take your oil out, and I want you to get a drop of that beautiful oil, okay? And what we're gonna do with that oil is we're gonna go ahead, get those molecules circulating around, and I want you to deep inhale that beautiful, beautiful oil, okay? And then release. One more time for me, guys. Inhale. And release. And when you release, I want you to release it all through your neck, through your shoulders, get all of that tension out. So I love, again, this Happy Day protocol. So in the protocol, the first step that you do is you actually put that VALOR on your wrist, and then you put your wrists together. What this is actually doing is helping to align. I don't know if you guys can see me too, but it's helping to align you. It's helping to ground you, okay? And as you get your balance, this is really gonna help to kind of center you. You can go ahead to the next slide for me. Harmony. So after we've gotten our courage, after we've gotten centered, we use our VALOR. Next, we want to take harmony. Look, I told you, I have all of these, y'all. So harmony, you want to place harmony, again, palm in your hand. You're going to rub this together, and this is going to go on your solar plexus. So that is right here. I don't know if you guys can see me, but it's right above your belly button, okay? So you want that harmony to kind of center you, okay? So you want all of the good, peace, harmony. I don't use the word balance, I use harmony, because I feel like in order to have balance, things need to be equal, and the reality is my life ain't never been equal, right? So we want harmony, right? Next. And next, joy. So, sorry, y'all, my joy bottle was a little worn out. I told y'all I use my oils, y'all. So next, you want to take your joy. Get you a drop of that beautiful, beautiful joy. This is one of my Ayla's favorite oils. I will tell you this story. I did not like joy the first time I smelled it, probably because I needed more joy in my life. So this one you want to put right over your heart. I like to kind of place it there. And a lot of times I'll couple some of these oils in the application to affirmations, right? I want to bring more joy into my life. I want to bring more joy into my heart, right? The thing is, when we have more joy, we have more joy to give out to others as well. And then next, and this is actually a new bottle, so I'm gonna open it for you guys. White Angelica. Now, White Angelica, if you have any negative humans in your life, or even if you are the negative human in your life, get you some White Angelica. Again, get you a drop in your palms. There we go. And this one, you're gonna rub together. It's good too if you can get it, like I have too much hair, so like dropping it in my head doesn't really work for me. But if you can get it in the scalp of your head, get this in the scalp of your head. That's a really nice one to do. I try to do the crown of my head and then kind of work it down as a shield to your whole body. So what White Angelica does is it actually helps to block some of like the negative energies from other people. So I always kind of joke, like I'm like, when you be a negative, I'm going to take my oil and I'm going to splash you with my White Angelica. But when you couple the 4 of these oils together, and you can see how fast that you can kind of get through that in the day, it's really going to help with the frequencies, it's going to help elevate your mood. It's going to help elevate you in general. So I love the Great Day Protocol, and it's an amazing one to get started with.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Dana, for starting us off. We still have a lot of information and a lot of stories to share with you. And we promise you we're gonna come from all aspects. So we have individuals that have had emotional stress due to some physical things, had emotional stress due to work, and then all the way down to some like deep trauma and grief of how these oils have helped us. So no matter where you are on the spectrum, this class is definitely for you, and we appreciate you sticking through all the stuff that we're gonna share. With that, we're gonna move over to our next speaker, who is Melissa, and she is going to share with us her story of how she's been helped with her emotions with essential oils, and then a few of her favorite things.
Hi guys, everyone can hear me, I hope.
Yes.
Coming to you guys from Nova Scotia, Canada. I was introduced to oils, actually I came across it on Instagram. My background is nursing. I've always been interested in alternative medicine and different therapies like that. My interest in oils has always kind of been. I finally decided a couple years ago to jump in and get my own kit. So when I got my own kit, the main oils that I gravitated towards were frankincense. Frankincense is one of the oils that I reach for, along with VALOR, which are very both grounding type oils. And frankincense actually played a really important part with me getting to Young Living Grand Convention there in Utah. And it took 13-hour flight to get from Nova Scotia, Canada on the East Coast all the way to Utah, 3 plane rides and 13 hours all by myself. And at that point in time, I had never flown by myself before, so it was quite nervous. I was quite nervous. It was quite nerve-wracking for me. So I took it upon myself to dose myself with frankincense and get on the plane. As well, at that time, I also used thieves. I had thieves in my purse as well. Because every time I noticed that when I got on the plane, I was always ended up having some type of a head cold or fighting some type of sore throat or stuffed nose afterwards. So I was able to use my frankincense and my thieves oils, both on my way out and on my way back on my trip, and successfully I had the courage to do it, and I got to enjoy my Young Living Convention my first year there. So for me, as a nurse, a huge part of my day is essential oils. VALOR for me is one thing that I roll on the back of my neck and my wrists before I go to work, because as a nurse, you never know what you're going to face each day as you get in there. I work in the operating room, so it can be quite intense in times, but VALOR is definitely one that is not too far away. And also, like Dana had mentioned, white angelica is quite important to me, just because, like she said, there's so much negativity and things like that. I find that white angelica is just such a nice aroma, and it just takes me down another notch, helps me get grounded, and helps me get through my day. So yeah, there's so many different oils that can really support your emotions. It's just really, it's a really big thing. It plays a big role in my life, as I'm a helping kind of person, and you know, I guess you could say I'm emotional, because I'm always helping people and I'm always around people. So anything that's going to help support me is something definitely that I want to have close by. So that's a little bit of my story anyway for you. Just want to share this bath salt recipe with you here. So at the end of the day, you've had a long day, you've dealt with many different things. This beautiful stress relief bath salts. You can make it with Epsom salts, 1 to 2 cups of Epsom salts, half a cup of baking soda, 16 drops of eucalyptus essential oil, 8 drops of spearmint essential oil, Now, they do say that if it's right before bedtime, you're trying to wind down and relax, you can substitute lavender for the spearmint. Sometimes the peppermint or spearmint, the mint type oils kind of energize you and perk you up. So you can definitely substitute with those things. I myself love to use Release. Release is a really big essential oil, which also helps me get grounded and just helps me unwind and relax. The next one we had is the calming bath salts. And we have, that's with 1 cup of Epsom salts, a cup of quick oats, and then you grind these oats up in your food processor and make a fine texture with those, just to give you a little bit more of a substance to your bath. 1/2 cup of baking soda, some frankincense. Can't go wrong with frankincense. 10 drops of tea tree and 15 drops of lavender essential oil. And it's important to mix your essential oils into your Epsom salts so that they're able to, oil and water kind of separate. So with the Epsom salts, they're able to blend better with the water there. And you can use 1 cup of this mixture per bath. So that's really nice as well. Our next slide there is, Northern Lights Black Spruce. Well, this is kind of fitting because Northern Lights Black Spruce oil is actually farmed in British Columbia, which is west coast of Canada, so that's kind of nice. Northern Lights Black Spruce, the main thing that I wanted to point out to you about that is that if you're a woodsy kind of person or you love nature, love to be outside, the Northern Lights Black Spruce, it's like standing in the middle of a bunch of spruce or pine boughs. It's just so grounding. It helps with the feeling of unworthiness. The essential oil comes from, like I said, Young Living's Northern Lights farm in British Columbia. It diffuses this rich, woodsy, and invigorating scent during meditation. You may be journaling. You may be just thinking about your thoughts for the day, at the end of the day or before starting your day. And it can have a great grounding feeling and effect on your emotional health. So that's another really popular one. It's included in the Canadian starter kit as well.
Alrighty, thank you so much for sharing with us, Melissa. So with that, I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my story. So you already heard from Dana, that's my younger sister. So she's already explained to you the family dynamic that we came from. Again, for me as well, had a definitely difficult childhood, every type of abuse imaginable, taught to stuff down all of my emotions. I was the person who was just like grin and bear it, just get through it, never let him see you cry. And unfortunately for me as well, in the past 6 months, I've experienced the same as her. I had a friend who died suddenly and unexpectedly from cancer. I found out via Facebook. I didn't realize that she had it again. And then I have the same grandparents as Dana does. And so if you've ever heard my story in the past, my first love in the way that I came to Young Living was via Panaway for some tension that I have. And then my second love, because I needed some supplements and I needed some balance in my life, and it really helped my mineral levels, was Ninja Red. And my third love was absolutely joy. I did, within the first month of starting with Young Living, start doing Gary's Happy Day Protocol because I needed extreme support with my emotions because at the time I had so many physical things going on. So I love, love, love sharing with people because again, no matter if you just have a minor stress from your job or if you're having some additional emotional stress because of physical illness, or if you're trying to actually release some deep trauma or get through grief, these oils are going to help you. And with that, I'm going to share, perhaps you're like, oh, I've never even heard of these oils. That's a lot of stuff. But guess what, guys? You have stuff that comes in your premium starter kit that can help you get started with your emotions today. The thing is, are we using those on a daily basis? So one of people's such favorites is Stress Away. We refer to this as vacation in the bottle. And Dana's husband refers to this as don't be your kids, it's not worth it. This just completely calms your mind. So it has copaiba in it. I love the way it smells. It smells delicious. If you guys have a Stress Away with you, definitely now's the time to pull it out, put a drop in your hand, activate that, take a deep breath. We're towards the end of the night, ready to go to bed. But I just absolutely love the way this smells with that little vanilla. I loved my vanilla Bath and Body Works. Two of the things I'm about to talk about, I love the Bath and Body Works versions of these, but if you've been around for a while, you know that those things have toxins in them and they can disrupt our hormones. So I'm so happy to have some different substitutes to get these amazing scents. So it has vanilla, which contains eugenol, which may combat occasional nervous tension, and it has cedarwood, which helps promote relaxation. Another one that comes in most of our kits, and this is really, really one of my favorites, is our Peace and Calming. So this is a beautiful blend that has orange and ylang ylang. It's another one that you can apply over your heart, but I love to put this in my diffuser in the evening. This is another one that definitely helps me feel relaxed as well as calms my mind. And then Citrus Fresh. Citrus oils equal happy. And again, this is the other thing. I used to always get my little Bath and Body Works citrus energizing lotion and bath gel. And again, those have toxins in it, and I don't have to do that anymore. But if you are sad or upset, nothing can bring a little happiness like a blend of citrus oils. Just think, here in the United States, we have orange juice in the morning. When you open up that orange juice and that smell hits you, that feeling that you get, that's what the citrus oils are going to do for you. So it has a balancing effect and can be very calming and relaxing and can help to relieve fear and to wind down before bed. Mentally, it may aid in greater focus and alertness. So this is definitely one that you can just put on topically. Just remember that it's photosensitive, so don't put it in an area where you'll be in the sun so that you could smell it, or put it in your diffuser in the morning in order to energize you. So that's part of what I was going to share right now. With that, we're going to turn it over to Jocelyn. She is going to share her story, and then she's going to go over a few other oils that we can use to relax.
Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm not muted. I was just looking for some oils that were safe enough for me to take internally. I was adding peppermint oil from Whole Foods, whatever the store brand is. I had a big, huge bottle, and I would add it to my tea every morning. And then after like a month of doing so, I noticed that I was having migraines. And so that was the only thing that was new in my life. And so I read the bottle, and it said, not for internal use or for external use only, one of those two. And so that didn't really make sense to me because we eat peppermints. I knew that peppermint came from a leaf. I wanted to still continue drinking it. And I went to Whole Foods and I inquired, I grabbed someone who worked in that section of the store. And I was like, hey, I've been taking this peppermint oil internally, but the bottle says that you're not supposed to. And she was like, don't let those people get you to purchase a little bitty bottle of peppermint oil when you can get this big, huge bottle here. If it starts off as a plant, it stays a plant, and you can take it. Don't even let them get you like that. And so, like a really smart person, I continued taking the peppermint oil, and I continued having headaches. And so finally I stopped, and I started Googling. That's what we do. That's how we research. And I found out that there was a such thing as therapeutic grade oils. And around that same time, I was Facebook friends with Dana, and I saw that she was using oils. And so eventually I got my starter kit. And I was really content because I had oils I could eat. And for some reason that was really important to me. I didn't even know why it was so important to me, but just intuitively, I just always felt like it should not, if it's an oil that's going anywhere near me or I'm inhaling it, why does it say not for internal or external use? And then, the migraines really helped me to see why it says that, because of those fillers. But after getting my starter kit, obviously I got 12 oils and not just the peppermint that I was originally interested in. And I was still in school and I needed to be able to focus because I was studying. I needed to have something to lift my mood because I was studying and I hated it every minute, most minutes of it. And my kit came loaded. I had frankincense all of a sudden. I had stress away. I was introduced to joy at that time. Joy was still not in the kit, but Dana gave me a sample of joy, and that was actually my gateway emotional oil. And I didn't understand why the oils made me feel happy. I really didn't want them to because I was such a skeptic, but there was like no denying it that I felt better after I put like a drop over my heart every day. And I just never wanted to be that girl. I never wanted to be her, but here I am, and I'm definitely her. I still have joy. Tonight I used Melrose, and this is called Awaken. I'm huge. I use the oils now more for emotional support than anything else. And so that is it. That is it. That is all. That's my story. And I'm ready for my slide. Okay. Oh, Hope. Hope is a new one. I actually just purchased Hope myself last month. I use it at the top of my ears. Hope can reconnect us with our core strengths so we can ease stress and despair. It allows us to move forward with optimism and inner power. And that is true. Like some days, like I'll get lazy or I'll get distracted and I won't care, like I won't do my protocol. I won't apply my oils. And then I'll be like, it'll be midday and I'm like, I'm just in a funk. Why do I feel like this? And then I'll go grab, yesterday it was Hope that I grabbed, and I'll go and apply it the way that I'm supposed to. and then I'll like feel better. And yeah, so Hope is a really good one. If you don't have it, you should definitely look into it. It is worth every single penny. Oh, Envision. I think that was one I used a lot this summer. It contains scents that stimulate feelings of creativity and resourcefulness, encouraging renewed faith in the future and the strength necessary to achieve your dreams. Helps to open up the right brain where creativity and intuition flow. And that was another one, my favorite place to apply oils, my inner wrist. But I also applied Envision to the back of my neck. It really does exactly what it says. Just a renewed sense of just well-being, I would say. I reapply constantly. So this slide talks about diffusing for all the feelings. Breathe in and relax. So it gives us 6 different blends, which I am going to make sure I take a screenshot of. So the first blend is to provide emotional support for the emotion of sadness. And you would use 4 drops of joy. Joy contains ylang ylang, which is a really heavy duty emotional oil, in addition to rose. I mean, so many people have already talked about joy, but it's in that blend along with lavender and grapefruit. Joy also has geranium in it as well, and the citrus oils that make us happy. And so it has 4 drops of joy, 3 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of grapefruit. The next blend helps us to combat anxiousness. It has 4 drops of frankincense, 3 drops of bergamot, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, I feel like I am, but that is a bergamot. I think it's bergamot. It's a citrus oil, and it has 3 drops of lavender. So frankincense is great for grounding. The bergamot, which is in the citrus family, it is great for uplifting. And then lavender is a calming oil. The next blend combats tiredness. 4 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of orange, and 2 drops of juniper. So peppermint is uplifting as well as juniper. And then orange, there's a brightness there. Peppermint is also energizing. The next blend is called Fearful. 3 drops of patchouli, 3 drops of bergamot, and 3 drops of VALOR. So the next one, Stressed, 4 drops of lavender, 3 drops of Stress Away, 3 drops of lime. And the last one is called Angry, 4 drops of Purification, 2 drops of lemon, 2 drops of orange.
All right, thank you so much for sharing with us. So we are coming into the home stretch. Again, we have so many tools. A lot of them, when it comes to our citrus oils, are very affordable. Some of them come in your starter kit. But then I myself, again, started out with Gary's Great Day Protocol, and then I graduated to the Feelings Kit. And even for me, within the past 5 years, the things that I've gone through, I do not know what I would be able to do, how I would survive without my oils. I went through a very messy divorce, and then I explained what I went through in this past 6 months. I remember getting to March and thinking, okay, we got through these funerals. I'm gonna book all of these pamper things. I'm gonna go to, the salt room. I'm gonna get a massage. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then the world shut down. And I am an extreme extrovert. Like, I love being gone all the time. And so all of that, having all these emotional things that had happened from December to March, and then the world shut down, I had a really hard time. And there's been times in the past, like even the past couple years, or even a couple weeks ago, my anniversary comes around and I feel like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. The Feelings Kit is what I go through to help me with that, to bring up some of those emotions and to work through those emotions and get to the other side. There have been times where I felt a trigger and I've had to apply the Feelings Kit like 3 to 7 times in a day. But doing what I need to and going back to those tools, it helps me get to the place that I need to be. So with that, I'm going to share my screen again. So yeah, this is our Feelings Kit. So again, I always have to have this in stock. There's no time that I don't have it in stock. And this collection of specific essential oils supports the harmony and release of negative emotions and memories and reprogramming of belief systems. It promotes peaceful thoughts and spiritual harmony, without a doubt. Again, I always have to have the Feelings Kit on me at all times. I cannot run out of this ever. So we have in it release, which helps us let go of anger and frustration, and it facilitates emotional release. And I do like to do affirmations with this. Again, Dana talked about using all those tools, making sure you're doing deep breathing along with your oils. I will do affirmations with this. So I will say, I release all negative emotions while I apply this and I inhale this. We have harmony, which was already mentioned. This helps free emotional blocks softly and gently, and it promotes harmony and balance. We then also have in this kit Inner Child, which Inner Child helps to reconnect us to the core of who we are and release things that are holding us back. So with harmony, I say, my life is in complete harmony. Inner Child, I live with the joy of my inner child. And then we have VALOR. Everyone has talked about their love for VALOR. We know that this one balances spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional energies in the body. So I say I have the courage to handle anything that comes at me throughout the day. And then forgiveness. This will help us overcome emotional and physical blocks while allowing our soul to forgive, forget, and release. And I would say I forgive anyone that has hurt me, including myself. And then present time, project positive and loving thoughts designed to bring you in the present moment. And so I will say the past is in the past. I'm living in the present time, and we will have a wonderful day. So that is the feelings kit. And with that, that concludes the majority of our information. But the important thing is that we act. So for those that are on the call right now, in order to make sure that you can start this wonderful journey towards having some type of stress relief or even some emotional healing, if you're not yet part of the Young Living family and you're here today, or you're watching the replay, your first step is going to be to get your premium starter kit. This premium starter kit is a value of $460, and you get it for 60% off at $165 plus tax and shipping. And you already have a lot of what you need for emotional support. You're gonna have that peace and calming. You're gonna have that stress away. You're gonna have that VALOR for grounding. Frankincense is also really good for grounding. Lavender is really good for relaxation. And then you're gonna have all these other things that support your well-being overall from head to toe. And you get an introduction to our toxic-free cleaning line, as well as our supplement through our red juice. Now, if you're already part of the Young Living family, what you want to do is make sure that you're getting educated as much as possible, that you're using those oils daily, and that you're digging into the emotional side. So some people buy their oils and then they only reach for them once in a while. If that's you, make the decision today to use your oils daily. By using your diffuser and digging into some of these oils, you can start to change your emotional state and have all the support that you need to combat everything that's going on with us. Again, this doesn't mean that you're not going to have a sad day. It doesn't mean that you're not going to struggle, but you are going to have the tools so that you can continue to function and to move forward. So some of the class that we have coming up is on Thursday at the same time we started this class. We're going to have a class in Spanish about CBD. Each week we have a home-based business chat. So for anyone that is looking to maybe get their oils paid for, that's going to be an amazing class for you to join. On Sunday, we're going to have, it's probably going to be another long class like this one, and we're going to talk about all the things. We're going to share some more stories. A lot of them are going to be physical, and we're going to touch briefly on essential oils. We're going to talk about CBD. We're going to talk about toxic-free living and a little bit on our supplements. And that's Sunday at 4 p.m. And then Tuesday, September 8th, after we get back from the holidays, we're going to have plans for wellness. So we're going to go through our beautiful starter kit, but we're going to touch on and make sure that we have all the tools and know how to use them for this upcoming season and have immune support. And then Thursday, we are going to have that same class in Spanish. So that is what we wanted to share with you all today. I have not been watching the chat. If anyone would like to raise their hand, or if they previously had a question, or if they have a specific question for anyone that shared for additional details, now is the time that you can feel free to open up and let us know what questions you may have. Sabrina.
Hi. Okay, so I have only a few of I have some of them that were mentioned. I'm slowly getting my collection together. But I have a question on using forgiveness. So I saw it in the emotional kit, and I'm not sure how to apply it. Would you just do it on the wrist and the palms like the other ones, or what? Maybe how do you use it? Because diffusing it, my body kind of rejects it some.
Okay. So there is an actual protocol that we can get to you that was designed to use it. So Dana put in the chat, you usually put it over your liver. The researchers have found that certain emotions are stored in certain organs. And so your anger a lot of time is stored in your liver. So putting forgiveness over your liver is going to be very helpful. I put a video on the feelings kit in the actual event. And I believe in that video, I go through all the protocol of where you're supposed to apply it, as well as the full affirmations that I do when I use it.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add?
Yep.
Okay, the other thing I was gonna just add, so a lot of times if our body is resisting something, go slow, but that means we probably have a block somewhere. So when I got the fillings kit the first time, I used Inner Child, and I actually felt like I was having an asthma attack. I was like, what is this like voodoo stuff? I put it back in the box. I was like, I'm not using that because I don't know what's wrong with that oil blend. And then when I went ahead and looked at what Inner Child does, like I used the medical reference guide to see what it does, what I realized was I was blocking things that I refused to address from my childhood. And so I had to slowly use it. So I couldn't put, like, maybe for you right now, starting off, the release can't go on your liver. Maybe right now you need to just start by putting it on the bottom of your feet. Because if your body is like kind of resisting it, it might not quite be ready to break through that. So go very slow, but stay consistent with it. And that's what I had to do with Inner Child. Now I love Inner Child. But again, I like literally legit was like gonna call Young Living, like there's something wrong with these oils, like that thing made me not be able to breathe. Like I see what people are talking about, like there's something wrong with the oils. But what it was is emotionally, I hadn't faced that yet. And so I wasn't ready to let go of it.
So I see someone asked for the bath salt recipes. Yeah, I do have the slides individually, so I can post that in the event for sure. Any other questions that were thrown in the chat that I might have missed? Or anyone else want to ask an additional question? So Joanne, you are asking about something for pain. So there's several solutions that we have for pain. And the one that is designated for pain, we have a actual cream that is approved by the FDA called Coolazole Pain Relief Cream. That is naturally based, and it has wintergreen in it, but it's for arthritis, it's for back pain. That is the thing that we recommend and is recommended by the government. We also have some things that can just release tension. Panaway that comes in your kit is something that did give me a lot of relief. Like if I slept wrong, it would release tension for me. And we also have our CBD muscle relief. Love, love, love that. And that is something that I leaned on a lot in the past 6 months, because something that happens to me emotionally is that I store it in like my neck and back. And there were days that I don't know if I would have been able to get out of bed from the emotional stress because of the physical it was doing to my body. For me, the CBD relief was the best thing to help me with that portion of it. Any other questions? Yvonne, did you have a question or you want to share something?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to raise my hand. I unmuted it. I'm not technology good.
Well, we see you, so you can feel free to share.
Okay, and I got all these clothes. I'm helping my daughter catch up her clothes. Okay, I've had the feelings kit, and I have one now, but I don't want to waste it. And I've used it, but I didn't release any emotions. So now see you supposed to do affirmations. I think I did, but I'm not sure. So I didn't have any negative or positive.
So for me personally, I can tell you, even up until this point, I really have not had any like emotional release. I've never had some really strong reaction to any of the emotional oils. And that may mean that you have a stronger block. So I can tell you one of the things that I personally needed to do is so right when all of this happened, all of the team was asking for, can we have more classes on emotions? Can we have more classes on emotions? And it sent me into a state of like, no, why do we want to talk about emotions? everybody's like, that's what we need to talk about. And so we had a plants for wellness class, but we talked about the motions. And then I was in some other groups where I was sharing, and we were supposed to be sharing as wellness advocates, and the same thing. They're like, well, we got to talk about grief and emotions now, because that's what people are going through in April and May. And I literally had like this emotional block, like I'm not going to be able to do this. And so I actually had to do an aromatherapy technique with the oils in order to get through that, and then continue to use my feelings kit.
And I've been through the aroma technique too.
Mm-hmm.
I did on the cruise with Gina Young, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I probably have like a big blockage. And
yeah, I would just say to continue to work through. I would continue to use them, and maybe even try to get some deeper and deeper oils, because there's been times where I've need things like Sarah and Trauma Life. Like even those are like stronger and deeper, and those are designed for some of that trauma.
okay.
So I would just keep working through. Again, depending on my current situation, it's like I started with Gary's Happy Day protocol, and then I had to graduate through the feelings kit. Now that worked for like divorce stuff, but recently with some of the stuff that I've had come up with me having so much alone time, I have gone through mentally replaying a lot of stuff. A lot of times I need stuff like Trauma Life and Sarah.
All right. Thank you.
And then I think too, like maybe if there's a time where you're feeling like you're blocked, maybe at that time, try doing an ITOVI scan or a Zyto scan, because that should tell you because there's a lot of times where I'm feeling something physically too, or I think, oh, maybe my hormones are off, and then I do a ITOVI scan, and it's like, no, these are the emotions that you need to work on. So the ITOVI scan tells you what oils are connected to your emotions and what emotions you need to work on as well. So that's another thought.
Okay, and I have both. Okay. Because I was wondering why the ITOVI and Zyto didn't give the same supplements or oils, and they didn't. I was kind of like, why? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from anyone before we close it out? Well, all right. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Again, I'll drop some of those slides that have the full protocols as well as the recipes in there. The replay will probably be available within an hour as well in there. And again, feel free to join us for any of our upcoming classes, and we appreciate you guys so much. Have an amazing evening. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.